Hello and welcome to the video review of the Transformers 2007 Leader Class Optimus Prime. Now, this right here, this version is part of a 3-pack. It's a Costco exclusive, and it includes obviously the Leader Optimus Prime, a Legends Jazz, and a Legends Bumblebee. So I figured I'd take a look at all three. So first to start off with, let's take a look at Bumblebee. And this is his, I believe it's a 1960s Camaro. Excuse me. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's from the 1960s. Got the nice black stripes right here. Nice kind of metallic blue finish right here for the windshields and windows. And you have nothing on the back, but it's a Legends class figure. There's the bottom. So to transform it, you just pull his legs out, split them. You bring these sections down, and the doors come with it. So again, just kind of want to bring that out, and then this piece just comes down, and there you go. There's Bumblebee in his robot mode. Oh no, yeah, him standing isn't exactly the easiest thing to do. Yeah. But here he is in his robot mode, and I mean, it's a 2007 Legends class figure. It's simple, it's basic, it's very Mia. There's a nice Autobot symbol right there. Got some blue for the kneecaps or knee pads. And there's the back. So there's him. And then you also get a Legends Jazz, which looks really good in this car mode. I mean, yeah, you have the whole faux grille and headlights going on here, but other than that, it is a pretty nice car mode. You got some red paint back here for the lights and screw hole. A nice black and yellow for the grills and the headlights. So how to transform him, you just kind of want to take his arms and pull them out, which on mine are pretty difficult. Come on, there we go. So just want to make sure you bring them out all the way, like so. And you want to bring this whole torso section down. It is up like this, you just kind of want to bring it down. Bring his chest panel down, rotate his legs, and then there's this little groove right here, and you kind of want to get, oh wait, no, that's for vehicle mode, sorry. Then you just kind of want to push these in, so it looks like that, and then this will just sit back behind. Oh, you don't want to push them in all the way, but, oh, come on. There you go. So then you just, oh, no, come on, you come up. Just bring his legs out. Rotate his feet up, or feet down. And there you have Jazz in his robot mode. And again, it's a Legends class figure. It's not the best thing in the world. I mean, he's got some good detail and some good paint apps. I like the nice blue for the visor and the Autobot symbol in his crotch. Nice gold paint or gold bronze paint for his knees. So it's not too terrible. But again, it's a Legends class figure. What do you expect? But to get, well, actually, here are these two with Leader Prime. But to get these two out of the way, here is the Leader Class Optimus Prime. And I used to have this figure when I was a kid. When the movie first came out, I did get him. Oh, excuse me. And it had broke over the years. I believe I had the premium version, or the premium edition. And how I broke it was, I took it outside, and I was riding my bike, and I fell off my bike, and I snapped his crotch. So that was how that toy ended. But to bring him in for the detail, you got nice, it's a grayish plastic, but you got some nice rivets, a nice grille detail. Got a nice Autobot symbol in there, and they did paint it silver. It's a red background, and they did paint it silver, so that looks really nice. The flame work all around, I'd say, is really, really nice. And I like how they did them. It's like a dark metallic blue. I don't know how well it's coming across on camera, but the blue does really look nice. Of course, come to the side. And these are the, I believe it's both sides. Yeah, they're the battery compartments. Come to the back. Of course, he has the big, oh, well, that part's loose on mine, but he has the big gap back here, which, oh well, I can forgive it. Got some nice detail on the back. Of course, you got the tail lights, which aren't painted, but Again, it's an old 2007 figure. I can't really knock it against it. But overall, the truck mode is really, really nice. So he does have a lights and sounds feature. If you press this button right here, he does have a honking noise. And the windshield lights up yellow. Oh, here, I'll show that again. Which, I will admit, I do miss the gimmicks. I wish they'd bring them back, but I also understand why they won't, because money costs, and for some figures it also kind of ruins them. But, you know, I like that stuff. I really did like it. But yeah, overall, I really do think he has a great truck mode. And to show you the one accessory he does come with, he does have his gun, which doesn't really look anything like he had in the movie, but it's a 2007 figure, so we forgive it, right? But to bring in close here, it does have some nice molded detail. I will admit, it really does. Got some nice rivets and stuff going on here. Here's this side. It does have a missile. You press this button right here and it does fire. Which, again, I wish they'd bring back firing missiles, but that's just me. But then again, when I was younger, I also lost it. And you can store this in this vehicle mode. There is a gray tab right here and a slot on the bottom, so you just take it, and this little missile section goes into a little cavity right there. So you just put that in there, and you just tab it down. That does lock, if I can get it. There we go. And these are loose on mine. And that's how his gun stores. It's not the most elegant storage, but also it doesn't look too bad. It could be worse. But let's get down to transformation. Now, you can keep the gun on, but just for the sake of making it easy, I am going to remove it and just set it off to the side. So the first thing I like to do is come to the back and bring these sections here, bring them down. And these are going to flip out anyways. So you just bring them down, and then we'll just separate them. And since this already wants to do it anyways, just rotate his hands out and flip these up, and then his hands will kind of cover them a little bit, so they won't be all flippy floppy. Hopefully, maybe. And then just bring these sections and and then just bring them up. The next thing you want to do is come to the front, untab these sections, and then you just want to bring down his legs. Just kind of bring everything down. Make sure that these are kind of straightened out back here. Then you want to untab his crotch from the back. And then the easiest way that I do this is first separate his legs. And then, like I said, the easiest way I do it is I make sure that all this right here is straightened out and looks like that. Come up to the top. Here, let me raise the camera so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. 1 second. Oh, yeah, come on. There we go. Yeah, alright. So, you want to come up here, separate his arms. Well, first you want to separate these pieces. Then bring his arms out, like so. And then take this section, you want to untab it from the side, which it does tab in pretty securely. And then rotate this back. This will rotate up against his back, and then bring this back, and then there's a tab right here that'll go into a slot right in there, and that just sits up against his back like that. Just put his arm flush against his body, and you want to do the same thing on this side. So just bring this down, rotate that around, bring this all up against his back, rotate this in, which can be a bit of a pain sometimes. Cam on. There you go. Just want to make sure you tab everything in correctly. So you get something that looks along the lines of this. Then you want to bring his legs all the way down. Then you want to clip in his crotch. And so we'll finish up the legs. So what you want to do is bring the wheel well. You want to bring that up and just clip it into his back, at the back of his thigh. Bring that up. Clip that in. You then want to bring up his knee pad and Bring that up flush against his leg. So bring that up. Bring that up flush. And then you have a really cool feature with his feet, which I personally do like, where when you bring back this grill section, so you bring it back and you rotate it, and his toes will actually flip up. And then you rotate this piece back. And I think that's a little nice piece of automorph. Same thing on this side. Bring that back, flip that up. And then you have the lower part of him all done. At least I believe you do. Yes, you do. So you then just want to bring his arms out, bring them down, bring them out, kind of orient them properly. Take this piece, bring it around, that'll become a shoulder pad. Then you want to bring this section up and do the same thing on this side. So you just bring his arm down, untab it, bring it down, kind of orient it properly. Get this piece, flip that down and around, bring this section, bring that up. And then the last thing you want to do is there's a button right here. It's kind of a hook, and when you do it, it brings up his head, and you have the lights and sounds go off. And here, I'll do that again just to show you guys. Which I do think is really cool. Again, I kind of do miss those kind of gimmicks, and I wish that they'd bring them back. You just kind of want to bring up his hands, or bring up his thumb, bring up his thumbs. And there you have Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And again, I think he looks pretty good. I mean, yes, I will admit, obviously, he doesn't really look like anything he did in the movie. I mean, he's very chunky, very blocky, very, you know, he's not exactly movie accurate. But I still love this thing. It was one of my first Transformers ever, and it was definitely my first Optimus Prime toy ever. And even though the 2007 movie toys aren't exactly the most movie accurate, you have to admit they have a kind of charm to them. They have a certain aesthetic and a certain just presence that you cannot get from any other toy. And back in the day, that's what they were. They were just fun toys. So let's bring him in to get a closer look at all of his details. You got some nice mechanical detail inside of the windows. I think actually a pretty decent looking head sculpt. A little bit of gold accents right there. Got some nice blue and red on the arms. A lot of nice mechanical detail, I will admit. Come down to his legs. Got his little toes. Bring him around to the back. And yeah, like I said, he's a thick boy. I mean, he is one chunky dude. I mean, just and he has all this kibble on him. But again, it doesn't bother me. I've grown to look past it, and again, I very much do. I really do love this guy. And his ankles, at least on mine, are a bit loose, and since he's so back heavy, he does just kind of fall back, so I kind of always have to have him leaning up against something. But it doesn't bother me too much. So as far as articulation goes, his head can rotate that far both ways, which it can't do a full 360 because of the LED, or the electronics on the inside. His arms can do a full 360. You can bring this piece up and his arms can move out all the way. He has a double jointed elbow. His wrist doesn't rotate, but for a 2007 figure, he does have individual articulated fingers, which is really, really cool, in my opinion. So, he's such a chore to stand up. But like I said, that is really cool that he does have individual articulated fingers. Nothing at the waist. His legs can come up that far. They can go back that far. They can go out that far. This piece right here bends to accommodate his knee, and his knee only bends that far. And he does have, that piece came in, and he does have a ball joint at the ankle, so he does have an ankle pivot and an ankle swivel. So for being such a chunky guy, I mean, his posability isn't too bad. It's not the worst thing in the world. And of course, you can give him his gun. This just tabs into the same port that was in his vehicle mode. Let me bring the camera down a little bit. Bring it down just a little bit. There we go. So you can just plug it in, and it just plugs into the side just like that. And you can either have it hanging off the side like that, or there's a lever right here, and when you bring that forward, it brings around his gun and this added section, and he now has his gun, which I think is pretty cool. Again, it's not perfect. It doesn't look anything like it in the movie, but I personally do love it. But he really is a chunky guy. But if you don't have him, I mean, if you're an Optimus Prime completionist, I would recommend him. But I'd also say, if you're just a fan of Transformers and you just want it, I'd say get it. Again, not the best looking. He is a very, very chunky figure, but it has a certain charm to it and just a certain presence that you can't get anywhere else. And like I've said multiple times, I absolutely love this figure. And even the little 2 Legends guys that you get with him, because this is the Costco exclusive, I do enjoy pretty well, and I think it is really cool to have all of these guys. Oh, come on, Bumblebee. Stand. There you go. So that was my video review for the Transformers 2007 Costco exclusive 3-pack of the Leader Class Optimus Prime, Legends Bumblebee, and Legends Jazz. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a good one.